Hey guys, how's it going? My name is the Wolf of Lego. I'm associated more with goats than I am with wolves, but that's okay. I like goats. They're kind of retarded. Am I allowed to say that? I don't care. Welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at 3 new custom minifigures from Star Wars The Clone Wars. We have Anakin Skywalker.
I will be the most powerful Jedi ever.
Obi Wan Kenobi, and Ahsoka Tano. So it's all these characters and these appearances appeared for the first time in the Star Wars The Clone Wars 2008 movie. The plot is ridiculous. Gonna save the Hutt's son? How does he even have a son? How does this thing reproduce? I don't even want to know. Now granted, season 1 does not hold up that well in comparison to the rest of the show. We have some very questionable stories.
These are not the Jedi.
Hey there, little guy.
Awful looking animation. What the fuck is this? Why does the first episode look better than an episode in the middle of the season? How is that even possible? No, but I love this show. I've grown up with it. It's a great show, and I decided to make some characters from it. I have some more characters planned, but these are the 3 that I have for you today. So without further ado, let's jump into a full close-up 360 on all these figures. Okay, so one thing I want to comment on is, for whatever reason, all the toys for Anakin, based off this design of him, for whatever reason, he's always brown and black. In the show, he's clearly red and blue. I don't know why Lego and action figure companies seem to love to make him look like that. So it's nice to have a figure that's actually color accurate for once. So we'll start with his accessory here, his lightsaber. So this lightsaber is a new design. It's not new, but it's essentially, the Skywalker lightsaber. But what it is more based off of my Kylo Ren lightsaber. If you guys remember that, I have it right here. So what I did, if you remember with Kylo Ren, was instead of using an actual Lego lightsaber, I used a Lego bar piece, and I sculpted onto it with Procreate. So we have the Lego bar right here, and I cut it to size, about the size of a lightsaber handle, and then I sculpted onto it. Because as much as the design that Aaron came up with, Lego-Matic 9, for his lightsaber, I don't like how bulky it is. It's serviceable, it's fine, and if you personally like this more, or if you like using it, that's fine. But I personally want something that's more, more in line with how it's supposed to look. And this is what I came up with, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think the lightsaber hilt itself is a little too long, especially in the shaft area up there. But it turned out pretty nice. So all that you see there is sculpted with Procreate. I got the ignition switch, the buttons, all those little things. And sorry, I keep hitting my lamps. They got tracing paper over them. And then you got the grips down there and all that. So all that's sculpted by me, and it turned out really nice. I'm really happy with it. Now, for all you Star Wars nuts out there, the grips, I have 8 of them. Now you might be thinking, hey, wait, there's supposed to be 7 or 6 or whatever. There's 8. Count them. Okay? You can go complain to Dave Filoni and them for putting 8 grips on his lightsaber. I have no idea how many there's supposed to be. I wanted to check, though. There's 8. Okay? So don't get mad at me. So as you can see, the head is a clone trooper head. Really happy with how that turned out. I use that as a base. I think it works really well for making an Anakin figure. A lot better than what Lego decided to do by trying to make animated eyes. I don't know if you guys remember these. These were horrifying. Look at that. That's horrifying. I don't know why they tried that. It just doesn't work. This just looks so much better. So yeah, so the chest armor up above, that is sculpted out of Procreate. The same can be said for the shoulder pads. Really happy with how this Republic symbol turned out. I'll give you a nice close-up on that in just a second here. But the armor itself is all made out of Procreate. Really happy with how that turned out. Turned out really nice. The robes themselves is a Cape Madness trench coat. The belt is made out of E-tape. The pockets and the little gold things down here, I don't know what these are for. I think they eat them. I can't remember. They're like an energy bar. Those are made out of Procreate, rolled up Procreate, sculpted. And then the little red robe underneath here, that's just a Cape Madness little waist cape. I have 2 of them under there. I'm not going to pull them apart. I'm sure you guys can figure it out. It's just laid under there. Turned out really nice. So let me zoom in for you guys so we can get a better look at some of the smaller details I painted on. Okay, so we got a nice zoomed in shot here. And as you can see, this Republic symbol, really proud of how that turned out. This is the second time I painted it. The first time was on Obi Wan, and I was really worried about painting it again, and turned out really nice. So as you can see, we got the little communicator on there, and we got all the little lines in the robes and stuff. The boots, really happy with how these boots turned out. As you can see, got all the lines and the lace going all the way around. The design does continue on to the inside of the boots, so let me show you that. There you go. So, not really necessary, but it's a fun little detail nonetheless. Then we have his robotic gloved hand here, and I did continue these onto the inside of the arm, but with this E-tape belt, it kind of scratches the paint off, so it kind of wrecked it a little bit, but I have his arms just kind of neutral at his side most of the time anyway, so it doesn't really bother me too much. But, yeah. Whoa, I hit the camera. That about does it for Anakin, the chosen one. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. Spoilers. Yeah, but I'm really happy with how this guy turned out, and let me know what you think of him in the comments down below. So our second minifigure here is Ahsoka Tano, who appeared for the first time in the Clone Wars show, who was actually hated when she first appeared. No one liked her, and now is one of the most favorited Star Wars characters of all time. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that to see how Ahsoka has grown on people and how she is like one of the best Star Wars characters. She's one of my favorites by far. So being able to make her, finally make a figure of her was a lot of fun. So Ahsoka here, I did want to make her shorter because in the show, she's like Anakin's shoulder height. She's like really short in comparison to everyone else. And if I gave her normal legs, she would have been the same height as the rest. Now granted, I will not be doing this for her later season appearance when I do make a figure for that. I just want to do it for this one. This figure did not turn out completely perfect. I have a couple gripes with it, but overall, I really like how this figure turned out. So I want to show you a couple height comparisons real quick so you guys kind of get an idea of what I did. So generally when I make a pair of short legs, I will make them about the same height as an actual short minifigure. But granted, Ahsoka is not that short. As you can see, she's a bit taller. She's more in line with the new Harry Potter figures, as you can see right here. She's more at that height with these new short legs that they made. Now granted, you might ask, why didn't I just use these new short legs? Well, I don't like how the thigh is there. See how big the thigh is? It's weird looking. What I usually do for my figures, my short ones, is I will sand down the thigh area and make those a little shorter, more in line kind of with how these are, a little smaller. And that's what I did for Ahsoka, but Ahsoka is wearing a waist cape, so you can't really see what I'm talking about, but that's okay. So, that's the background. So we'll start with her lightsaber here. Now this was the same thing I did for Anakin, where I sculpted around a bar and all that, and I think this one turned out a lot better. The lightsaber itself is a bit shorter and it works more in line with the size that I wanted it to be. And let's see if it'll focus there. There we go. And as you can see, I sculpted on all the detail there. Little ignition switch, the little corner little parts on the top there, really nice. All the buttons and doohickeys that are on there. And on the back side, you can see we also have those buttons. So really like how this turned out, and I did make the lightsaber with a point. Now you might be wondering, why don't I have her pose with it backwards? It's easier to show it like this. Let me take it out of her hand there. As you can see, didn't sculpt there, so she can actually grip it. Really like how that turned out. Definitely a highlight of the figure. All right, so by far, this face, oh my word, I want to zoom in on this. This is my favorite part of the figure by far. This is 100% painted face. I am so proud of this. I was so happy with how the eyes turned out. I never paint faces. The last painted face I did was for Riggs from Lethal Weapon. That wasn't even that good. And this is 100% hand painted from scratch. Just so proud of it. It turned out so good. Here's some progress photos. So essentially I painted all the white and gray at first, because gray paint is easier. White paint is just hard to work with in general. So I like to paint everything in gray first and then go over it with white. That's what I usually do. If any of you are struggling with white paint, it seems to work for me, and it really worked out for this, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Then you can see her head tails, her Torgruda head piece, whatever you call this. I don't know what they're actually called. But I painted all I was gonna say tattoos. They're not tattoos. They're just the the blue parts of her head tails. I painted all those in the accurate spots. Now you might be wondering why. It's because Lego doesn't have them placed in the right spots, as you can see right here. They're all kind of all over the place. And this is a lot more accurate to how they're supposed to look. You might think that's unnecessary. I think it's totally necessary. And then I repainted the headpiece here in green. And then I did make her Padawan braid that's made out of just some string. It's glued on and painted up in green. So I really like how that turned out. I think that turned out really nice and definitely tops the figure off with how good that face is. So then down below, as you can see, I did curve her torso and I did shorten it. The torso is shorter than normal. Her top is made out of E-tape on both sides. It's a little lopsided, but it works. And really like how that turned out. That's all painted up. Then as you can see down below, we have her little waist cape with her little skirt piece. I don't know what you'd call this, the purple piece in front. Now, the one side, this side here, your left side of where you're watching, turned out so good. And the right side turned out not as good. And it still works, and I really like how it turned out, and are really happy with the one side anyway. Then we got the pocket, the pouch there, made out of Procreate. All this here is made out of E-tape, the belt, and then the little skirt and this piece here. The buckle is made out of Procreate. Then we have a little comm link on her arm there, on her wrist, just like Anakin. That's made out of Procreate, and you can see we have the little gold clamps on there. Now, her being shorter, I wasn't able to fit all the buckles on the boots. There's supposed to be 5. I'll be able to do that with the next version of Ahsoka, but I only put 2 on this because, like I said, she's a bit shorter. You see the same on that side. Doesn't have the comm link. And then the boots do point up to the top there, and they do continue on to the inside of the legs as well, the designs. So yeah, that's about it for Ahsoka. Really proud of this figure, especially that face. Definitely one of my favorite things I've painted this year by far. It just turned out so good. And yeah, that's about it for Ahsoka. Okay, so our last figure here is Obi Wan. I know this is not usually how I record, but the lighting seems to be better and I can't seem to get it lit well. So Obi Wan here, the pointy beard, that was fun. But we'll go over his lightsaber real quick. So, well, I always go over their accessories. So the lightsaber here, as you can see, this is not sculpted. This is all made out of different pieces of lightsabers. Or different pieces in general. The bit here is a little jiggly. So the inspiration for this design, I believe the first person to do it was Andrew Vu. I went off of Shane's Obi-Wan's picture, which I actually believe is the same design, or it is the lightsaber. I'm not mistaken. I'll have to ask. I'll clarify in the video here. You'll see. But essentially, you can for the most part see exactly what I did. This is just this part of the lightsaber. Sorry. The top is just this part of the lightsaber, or what you'd call the top, upside down. The bottom is this upside down. Now the handlebar where he's holding, where it's all rid with the ridges in there, that is a Brick Arms combat knife. Then that is a Lego bar piece with some sculpting on it. Now the gold bit up here, this is kind of my own design, my own little twist on it. That is actually the part of a Harry Potter wand. They have these new little wands here, and as you can see, this part right here, that is what that is. So if we can zoom, if we can focus on this. Hello, there we go. So yeah, so that's what that is, the little gold bit right there. That's what this is. And I really like how this turned out. This part's a little jiggly as I jiggle the camera. Right here, it's a little loose, so it's gotta be careful with it, or I gotta be careful with it. You can't do anything about it. I did make the lightsaber pointed because I like doing that. And yeah, so let me take that out of his hand real quick, and I'll keep talking to entertain you. I don't know if it's really entertaining to hear my voice. Hopefully it is. Hopefully I can be somewhat entertaining. So yeah, we got Obi Wan. Focus. There we go. So I used the terrible hairpiece. This is the original hairpiece from the original Clone Wars sets. It is an awful piece, and I hate it, but it is accurate to his Season 1 hair, so that's why I used it. As you can see, I painted it up in my own like orange color. I did sculpt a beard, and that turned out pretty nice. This was like the third attempt. Initially, I had the mustache up too high. I had the eyebrows up. I've changed his head a lot, but I think I nailed a nice Obi-Wan. He's not as happy as I wanted him to be. I wanted to make these versions kind of smiling. He looks a little grumpy, but that's okay. it still turned out okay. Then you can see on the neck there, because he does have armor that goes up his neck, I did cut a piece of E-tape and glued that on there. We have the armor sculpted out of Procreate on top, painted up in white. Oop. And does continue on to the back. The robes are made out of a Cape Mandas trench coat. This is just a piece of Cape Mandas trench coat, Cape Mandas material glued on the front. Then the let me zoom in. I forgot I had the ability to zoom in. So that's the face, a little better look at it. So yeah, really like how that turned out. So as you can see, the belt is made out of E-tape. The belt buckle is Procreate. The little lightsaber holder there, I forgot to paint that on Anakin and Ahsoka. I did paint it on Obi Wan though. I wasn't gonna go back, so he is a little more accurate that way. Got the pouches. Then we got the Republic symbol, which turned out fucking awesome. Look at that. Actually, this one's still better than the Anakin one when I think about it. And then we got, you know, all the clone armor sculpted on there. We got the little communicator. This side doesn't have a symbol, but that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. Got the little knee pads down there. Those are sculpted out of Procreate on the front, so they are 3D. And yeah, really happy with Obi-Wan. So yeah, that's about it for Obi-Wan. Really like how he turned out. Definitely a really good figure. I don't know. I think Anakin is my favorite, but the Ahsoka head is my favorite thing I made. So if that makes any sense. But yeah, so let's wrap up this video. So that's about it for this video. I got nothing else to say about these figures. I've said all I wanted to say. I don't want to drag this video on too long as is. I try to make my videos I want to make my videos short. I don't want to make them too long. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you found this video entertaining. I hope you found this, my figures, cool and, you know, interesting, and I hope you guys like them. I make them for myself, but I like to share them with people. I like to get different people's opinions. I do not sell my stuff. Sorry, I could. I know I'm amazing. I'm the best out there, apparently, labeled by everyone else except myself. I don't think my stuff is, you know, amazing by any means. So thanks, I guess. So yeah, do expect some more figures. My next project is going to be not Clone Wars related. I will be getting back to some more Clone Wars stuff eventually, but I will be doing a couple superhero things, some little off projects. So that should be kind of fun. So stay tuned for all that. If you want to keep up to what I'm doing, definitely go follow me on Instagram. There'll be a link down below. I post a lot of progress photos and just behind the scenes stuff in general. So if you want to keep up with me, I would recommend following me there. You can also follow me on Flickr and Twitter. I don't use Twitter that much anymore, but I still post on there occasionally. And Flickr, you can just see finished photos of figures. Sometimes I don't even post finished photos on Instagram. So those are the two I would follow out of everything. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It's an amazing channel with amazing content. We don't even have a channel banner. So that's awesome. And then I don't even, why did I say we? It's just me. I don't have like an editor. Duke, can you edit my videos? No? Oh yeah, you don't have thumbs. I don't know, do you need thumbs to edit? I don't think I actually need thumbs to edit. What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. That's about it. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys have a nice day. God bless you, people of justice. May the force be with you always. And I will see you guys in a month's time. Don't hold me to that. You know, I take it back. I am a true artist.
You were the chosen one!